Yeah, this is
What have we
one
got
for
here?
Glenn. So while we're still on
Yeah.
Glenn and his footprints, is the story about Puxley River tracks true or false?
I assume this is the one in Texas with the human footprints, is what I'm guessing that they're talking
It's
about.
the Puxley.
It's what?
Puxley River,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, the Puxley riverbeds,
Puxley.
river tracks.
Yes. And I'm no expert on that. Joe may know more about it than I do. I understand it, kind of what Joe's talking about, that there were some in the Glen Rose area that you have dinosaur prints, and then those that they thought were human footprints. But with time, as more of the sediment was washed out, it became clear that the human footprints were not human footprints. And then since then, there been some cases of what most people feel like was fraud with regards to the human footprint. So I'm not sure if that's the same location that they're asking about.
Yeah, it is with the Glen Rose, so the Puxley River tracks. There's definitely very, very good dinosaur footprints there.
Yes.
You can go and still find there's new ones being exposed all the time, and it is the famous place where you supposedly found dinosaur footprints next to human footprints. Now, when the report of these first came out, basically nobody really knew about them. I mean, you can certainly fake a human footprint. It's not that difficult, but the original ones that came out before anything was collected or anything like that, and I speak as somebody because John has shared with me, he was one of the first people to go out there and actually investigate it. And if you want John's testimony, the ones that he saw, he could not tell whether if they were fakes or not. Right? They certainly looked very real as far as what he could tell. Right? Now, that's not enough to determine whether they're real or not. There's all sorts of various tests that you could do, should do, so on and so forth. The problem was by the time that John went out the second time to go and try and find them, number one, the amount of human footprints had tripled, right? Many of them very obviously carved because it had hit the media and hit the headlines and so on and so forth. Numbers of them had been cut out and carried off without any kind of proper research being done to them. Some had clearly been drawn on as well and chipped out. You could still see where ones had been drawn on, and we're now left in a bit of a mess, right? You've got some which are clearly dinosaur footprints that are deformed or eroded away, some with the original ones which may or may not be human footprints, but we've got no way of now determining them, and some which are clearly frauds, right? So you've got a big mess, and so the best thing to do is throw your hands up, walk away, and don't touch them, basically, right? You can't use them as conclusive evidence because too many frauds have been known and too much damage has been done, and reevaluation of any of the ones that are still in their original form have been pretty much shown to be sort of eroded dinosaur footprints, right? So is it possible? Yes. Is it provable? Not anymore. What should you do if you find a dinosaur and human footprint next to each other? Be very careful about who you tell. That's basically the summary.
Yeah, and we don't need those as evidence that dinosaurs were in existence at the same time as people, because there's much better proofs out there.
Yeah, exactly.